The average cost of care in Orlando for a skilled nursing home is about $9,500 a month. It can be a little lower and it can be a lot higher. I've seen them as high as $20,000 a month. The cost for assisted living runs between $3,500 and about $6,500. It can be higher if it's dementia care. The cost for in-home 24-hour care starts at $12,500 a month. And that is not with a nurse, that's with just a CNA. So as you can imagine, these numbers are pretty shocking, and they can easily deplete all assets that a husband and wife have worked hard for, or a single person. So where do we look to next? We look to see if you have long-term care insurance. So long-term care insurance would be able to supplement your income to hopefully help you be in assisted living, pay for some home care, be in a nursing home. What I find is that even with the long-term care insurance, it's still insufficient to pay for nursing home care. Because let's say your monthly income is $3,000 a month, and your long-term care policy pays $3,000, you got $6,000, we're still short. So many times, even with a long-term care policy, especially the old ones, which I'm now seeing, it's insufficient to pay the full monthly rate at the nursing home. Usually it's sufficient to pay for assisted living. Please, please, please do not save your long-term care policy for the nursing home. I see a lot of elders do that. They say, I bought this for the nursing home. Please get the care and help you need while you're at home with your long-term care policy. So if the elder needs assistance at home, try to help them understand that they need that and to get that as soon as possible, because that may prevent the fall that takes them to the nursing home. It's also going to improve their quality of life with socialization. One of the biggest issues we have with elders is isolation and depression. So if they're at home alone, not getting any interaction, the depression will start, and then the depression can exacerbate the dementia and exacerbate the health issues. So if we can get support at home, or if we can get the support in the assisted living. When I talk about Medicaid, there's very little Medicaid dollars in Florida directed towards home care or assisted living. Most all our Medicaid dollars in Florida are directed towards the nursing home. So if you use your long-term care policy for home care and assisted living, an elder law attorney is going to be able to help you get Medicaid in the nursing home. I cannot get that benefit as easily for home or assisted living. There are new long-term care policies. They're now built more on a life insurance chassis, and they have much more flexibility than the old policy. So if you're a child caring for an elder and you're under 70, I would look towards getting a long-term care policy because, as you know in the media, the budget's a mess. We don't have a lot of funding for Medicaid statewide. They're going to maybe transition to block grants again, which as a section, the elder law attorneys were fighting because they're going to try to give the states a pot of money and say you use it as you want. Well, state of Florida isn't known for helping the elderly and the disabled very much. So we're worried that if they do that block granting, we're going to lose even more coverage for the elderly and disabled. If you can self-fund, you have control over what happens to you. So if you can buy a long-term care policy and have that flexibility, you're going to have more control over your health care. Everybody I sit across the table from tells me, I want to stay home. And I wish I could make that happen for everybody. But if you have $14,000 to your name and you need 24-hour care, you're not going to be able to stay home. It's a financial issue. One of the policies I like, and I don't sell this, I'm not a licensed agent, I have no interest in this, is called Lincoln Financial Money Guard. And that's a policy where you would buy into the policy a lump sum, and then you get an exact amount of long-term care coverage you can use at any time. They can never raise your rates or premiums, and it's based on that contract. Versus the old policies, what the problem with the old policies were is everybody thought they were going to make a lot of money in long-term care, and they sold these policies that were not financially viable, and then they went out of business. But in that interim, they kept increasing the policy amounts. So these elderly people that had paid and paid and paid couldn't afford the premium increases, and then they lost all coverage. In this format, they can increase it. You get the amount that you paid in for coverage, and you're not going to ever have them raise the rates. And Lincoln Financial's been around for, I believe, over 100 years, so they're a trusted company. There's a lot of other companies that are trying to get into that market of offering it more on a life insurance policy. If you don't use the policy, the value you put in goes to your beneficiary. So you don't just throw the money away if you don't use it. So that's why I like that one.